I'll never forget the sight of Ouka, my white Nordic breed dog, soaring through the blue sky, his fur gleaming as we paraglided above the French mountains, his tail wagging like crazy. I'm Shams, a longtime paragliding pilot, and Ouka has become my adventure buddy in ways I never expected. His story, one of finding joy after a tough past, started in a shelter and led to a life of hiking, flying, and a bond that saved us both. I adopted Ouka from a shelter in France, knowing only that he'd been with 2 families before me. Something about his life hadn't worked out. He wasn't happy. When I met him, his energy was electric, not the kind of dog to lounge on a couch all day. Ouka needs action, at least 2 to 3 hours outside daily, or he gets antsy, pacing like he's ready to burst. I figured that's probably why his previous homes didn't stick. He was too much for them, but I saw a spark in him I couldn't ignore. So I brought him home, hoping I could give him what he needed. But I had no idea how to keep up with a dog this active. I've been paragliding for over 15 years, soaring through the skies with nothing but a wing and the wind. It's not common, but some pilots fly with their dogs, so I knew it was possible. I thought, maybe Ouka could join me. He's a Nordic breed, born for the outdoors, snow, mountains, rugged trails. But flying's a big ask for any dog. I needed to make sure he'd love it, not just tolerate it. So I started testing him, step by step. I'd take him on short hikes, checking his comfort around heights and wind. To my surprise, he aced every test, his eyes bright with excitement. But I was still nervous. Would he stay calm in the air, or would it freak him out? Our first flight was just a few seconds, a quick hop to see how he'd react. Ouka sat snug in his harness, strapped to my chest, his white fur catching the sunlight, and he didn't flinch. His tail kept wagging, so I pushed it further. 30 seconds, then a minute, then 5. Each time, he was chill, like he was born to fly. Now, our flights last 5 to 10 minutes, and he's as calm as can be. We start with a long hike to the mountain's peak, which gets him buzzing with joy. Instead of trudging back down, we launch into the air, gliding smoothly. Landing's a breeze. My feet touch the ground, his paws follow, softer than hopping out of a car. But it's not just about flying. Ouka's whole vibe has changed since those early days. When I adopted him, Ouka wasn't ready for the mountains. He'd stumble on rocky trails, unsure of himself, like he'd never had the chance to explore. I worried he'd never keep up with my lifestyle. But he adapted fast, like a switch flipped. Now he scrambles up steep paths and sprints across ridges like a mountain goat. His Nordic roots shine through. He's built for this, born to run through snow and conquer tough terrain. Watching him evolve has been wild, but it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Ouka's high energy means I've got to plan our days around his needs. If I don't get him out enough, he'll let me know, whining and nudging me like, "Come on, let's move." Paragliding with Ouka isn't just fun, it's a responsibility. As a seasoned pilot, I'm obsessive about checking weather conditions. I only fly when I'm 100% sure it's safe, knowing Ouka will stay calm. One wrong gust could spook him, so I'm extra careful. But his trust in me makes it worth it. He'll look up at me before a flight, eyes gleaming against his white fur like he's saying, "Let's do this." It's a rush, but it's also humbling. I think about his past, how he wasn't happy before, and how close he came to missing this life. If I hadn't adopted him, he might still be stuck somewhere, frustrated and unfulfilled. Ouka's not the only one who needed a change. When I found him, I was going through a rough patch. Life felt heavy, like I was lost in my own head. Adopting a dog wasn't just about giving him a home. It was about finding something to pull me out of that funk. Ouka needed me as much as I needed him. He gave me purpose, a reason to get outside, to hike, to fly. Every time we hit the trails or take to the skies, it's like we're healing together. But keeping up with him is a commitment. Some days I'm wiped, and he's still raring to go, nudging me for another adventure. I've had to adjust my life to match his energy, but it's made me stronger. His joy is contagious. On a typical flight day, we'll hike for hours, Ouka bounding ahead, his white coat glowing against the mountain rocks, sniffing every crevice like it's a treasure. When we reach the launch point, he sits patiently as I strap him in, his tail thumping. In the air, he's calm, taking in the blue sky like he's king of the mountains. Back on the ground, he'll race around, ready for more. It's a far cry from the dog who couldn't handle a rocky path, but I still wonder about his past. What happened with those two families? Did they not see his potential? Or was he just too much? I'll never know, but I'm glad he's mine now. Ouka's taught me that sometimes the best things come from taking a chance. I didn't know what I was getting into when I adopted him, but he's shown me how to live bigger, bolder. He's not just a dog. He's my partner in adventure, my reason to keep pushing. I look at him, tearing up a trail or soaring with me against the blue sky and think, we were meant to find each other. His happiness, his trust, it's everything. I'll keep flying with him, hiking with him, giving him the life he was born for because Ouka's not just a dog, he's my wings. Thank you for watching. If you liked the story, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. See you in the next video.